What's up YouTube? Nate here with another blast of awesome pickups that I've gotten over the last couple of weeks. So, if you want to see all the cool stuff that I picked up, stay tuned! Alright guys, welcome back. So, I've got a box full of anime right here. And, well, I'm very excited to show off what I picked up recently. Over the last month or so, I've gone through and acquired quite a few things, going to the number of resale shops here in the area, as well as taking advantage of Rightstuff.com's bargain bin garage sale blowout sale that they had here at this point, like 2-3 weeks back, something like that, near the beginning of May, basically, that they had this sale, and I picked up a whole bunch of older anime that I've been wanting to get into, and some of it, unfortunately, is only in bits and pieces, piecemeal, but for the most part, I was able to pick up quite a bit of stuff that I didn't already have, and then, of course, you know, the normal things that I've been pre-ordering and whatnot throughout the time, and so I got this lovely box full of anime to basically show you guys pretty much everything that I've picked up. So that's totally awesome, totally cool. But before I start on this, I want to give you guys an update about my TV. I told you in the last pickup video that I recently picked up a brand new TV, and I now have recently picked up a actual entertainment center to go with the TV, basically a TV stand. There's a few more pieces that I'm looking to pick up. Basically, we've got an Ikea here in the Detroit area, and I went looking and pretty much found one that looked really good and fit really well with what I was looking for. I'll have some photos up here so you guys can kind of see the general layout. And if you notice, you know, from those photos, the general layout of the living room has changed a bit. So in my next review video, you'll see that difference there. So it's kind of, you guys are getting a bit of a preview of what the new layout is going to look like, and of course this is going to change more once I get a chance to actually pick up the shelves that I want to pick up to go with the unit, because right now I've got these old, effectively they're solder shelves. Basically I picked them up from, got them from my grandmother, who I think wound up picking them up through a bunch of garage sales, but either way they've done me really well, and they're still doing really good for holding all of my video games and whatnot. But I want more room, I want them taller, I want them higher, I want to put some glass onto them so that they open and close, and put some lights and things in there with some glass shelves so I can actually display some of my figures and stuff, you know, like the Harlock figure back here, and I've got a Mattel figure, which if you watch my most recent actual anime review, you will have seen that from the Daisuke Jigen's Gravestone review. You'll have seen that in the background when I was going through my the music part and things like that. So I want to display all of this really cool stuff that I've picked up and actually put them up on display. Right now they're all kind of in boxes and randomly sitting around because I have parties and whatnot, and we do drink, definitely are old enough to drink, and we do drink, and I want to make sure that none of my stuff gets broken in the process. So basically just trying to make things a little bit neater, a little bit nicer, trying to bring up the look of the apartment, basically, things like that. But anyway, I'm really excited about this new bookshelf, a new configuration. I picked up a converter box that actually takes composite video and upscales it to 720p or 1080p. Currently I have it setting to 720p. I don't see much of a reason to go all the way up to 1080, and I notice certain games and things don't work going up to 1080. But it'll take composite or S video and outputs them in HDMI, and then that's going to another switcher I picked up from Monoprice, which takes a bunch of HDMI and component inputs and then outputs them in one HDMI, but also it can output audio to over Toslink, over coax, as well as over left and right stereo. So currently right now I'm just having it all go out over HDMI into my receiver, and it's working really, really cool. It's really awesome. It's nice. One of the things that I ran into with my brand new TV is that I tried to play Ys 1 and 2, as well as the Final Fantasy 4 Chronicles, the second special thing that was on my Wii. Neither of those would display on the TV because they used a different frame rate and a different format than what the TV actually likes. It's a lot finickier than my older TV was, so it's really cool to have a converter box that converts everything up, upscales everything, and I'm able to play everything that I want to play, so that's really cool. And in the end, it's just awesome to be able to play certain things and configure it all. And yeah, and it's fortunate that I had to buy all these extra pieces to do that, but eventually at some point in time I was going to need to do that anyways, as I am looking to try and do some video game reviews, maybe Let's Plays and things like that, and so I needed a way to get that into the player system. So in the end, it's all for me to be able to do some of the things that I want to do, and well, it just makes things a little bit smoother and easier connecting just one cable going to the TV rather than 30, which works out really well for me. But that aside, it's time to get into the anime. So let's start with my Blu-ray purchases. So first up here is a Blu-ray that I have been waiting for a very long time, and that is Patlabor the Movie 1. The very first Patlabor movie on Blu-ray. This recently came out back in April, and I have been awaiting this for quite some time because, well, little known fact, I actually had recorded a partial review episode a couple of years ago before I started really getting things updated here on the channel, and it was to this movie, Patlabor the Movie 1. And I actually plan on having a review of this out fairly soon. I don't know if it's going to be the next review that's going to come out, but it's on the docket very soon to come out to review this movie as well as the rest of them. And one of the cool things is this first movie, I've been waiting for it to get on Blu-ray. It's finally on Blu-ray. I've had copies. I've had HD copies. I own it on DVD. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, it's like over here. It's right here, the collector's edition on DVD. It comes with a whole bunch of really cool stuff from a Bandai re-release. I have the original. I have the original on VHS. I've got a bunch of different copies because this has had a couple of different dubs throughout the years. Because it was originally picked up by Manga Entertainment, they did a dub, and then now Bandai did a dub, and then recently Made in Japan and whatnot picked up the release, and so you've got this going up here, which is really cool. And this is just an awesome show. I love Patlabor. It's a crime drama. It's not really a procedural crime drama like CSI. It's just a cop show basically, but it's a cop show based in a version of Japan where rather than building cars and things like that, they decided to build robots. Giant robots to do construction and things like that, and they call them laborers or labors. And then they, because that you have laborers, there's the possibility for crimes using laborers. So they had to create a whole brand new police force that uses patrol laborers or patlabors in order to actually use that and fight against them. So this kind of deals with these group of Patlabor pilots and whatnot, and them fighting a common enemy and type thing. Really kind of cool. There's a TV series, which is the original TV series, and I've got it on Blu-ray, and I probably talked about it a little bit. I've got it over here. There's the original TV series plus what they call the New Files, which is a second TV series. And then there's the movie timeline, because that's its own timeline, does things differently. The movie timeline starts with an OVA, because there's an OVA series. Then it goes to this movie, Patlabor the Movie 1. Then it goes to Wasted 13, Patlabor 3. I know that's kind of weird, but as far as the timeline goes, Patlabor 3, the movie 3, actually takes place in between 1 and 2. And then Patlabor 2, the movie, is the second one, is the the second movie, but the last as far as the storyline goes. And when you watch it, you'll notice why it's the last. Basically, what happens in it is definitely very interesting. It's much further in the future type things, and it's really cool and whatnot. And actually, that's coming out on Blu-ray here within the next couple of months, so can't wait to get that. And I'm sure almost as soon as I get that disc in, I'll wind up doing a review. But anyway, this is Pat Labor, the movie 1. Really awesome to finally own that. I'm loving it. Alright, so, like I said, recently had actually gone to Disc Replay and picked up a bunch of stuff. I've had a gift card that's been burning a hole in my pocket for a while, and I wanted to finally spend it. And I had a little bit of extra cash, and so I picked up a number of different things. And one of the things that I picked up was, on Blu-ray, the Berserk movie number 3. I have Berserk number 1. It's the Golden Age arc is what these movies are based on. So I have Volume 1 and now I have Volume 3. I now need Volume 2. I just need to find it in stores, pick up a copy, and whatnot. But this is a really awesome retelling of the story of Berserk. The only problem I have with this movie series is that it doesn't go beyond what we've already seen in the original TV series. But it does have some updated visuals, really cool. It's a very gory film, this film here, but it's definitely enjoyable and a fun watch, but I'm not really sure this is something the kids should see. Anyway, though, Berserk, the movie, Volume 3, awesome to have that finally. Now I just need number 2 so I can sit down and watch all 3 of them together and get that whole storyline. Alright, so next up is a show that I've had on my radar for quite some time, but I'd never really gotten around to picking up any of it, and then I'm now kind of backpedaling trying to pick up more of it. And what is that? It is Burn Up Excess. I've got Volume 1 and now Volume 2, and there's a lot more than just this. I mean, this is 4 episodes, this is 3 episodes, so I only have 7 total episodes of this show. A complete collection would be really nice, but I like a lot of the artwork here. I mean, you got some really cool artwork on the front of both of these covers here, which is really nice, and that's kind of what I'm big into. I love artwork. You know, getting the collections and whatnot is really nice for shelf space and whatnot, but you know, looking up at the shelf and seeing a thing, you know, that's this thick, all of its burn up and whatnot is kind of neat too, and you can kind of see the different images and whatnot on the splines as it goes through, and it's one of the things that I like seeing. Some of you are more probably wanting to have, you know, having more available space on your wall than I'm necessarily looking to. But either way, though, it's really cool to finally get these. I've owned Burn Up W for quite a long time. It was one of the first DVDs, one of the first anime DVDs I ever owned was Burn Up W. I don't remember if it had a jiggle counter on it, but it was one of the reasons for ADV starting up their little jiggle counter thing that they had, where it would count the number of boob jiggles and whatnot. But this is definitely one of those series where you see a lot of panty shots, a lot of big-breasted girls, and, well, I mean, all the main characters are women, pretty much. And they've got this one character who walks around with a cut-off shirt. Basically, the shirt is always like this, and they're always jiggling and whatnot. There's some old AMVs that are based heavily on using scenes from Burn Up. So, or I should say Burn Up W, Burn Up Excess. Not the original Burn Up, because the original Burn Up's a much different story than these are. These are definitely more fan servicey and whatnot than the original Burn Up was. But either way, though, it's really cool to get these, and I'm looking for more of these. In fact, it's kind of funny. I was actually contacted by one of you guys out in the audience to see if I could try and find some of Burn Up, because having issues trying to find it. And no doubt, almost as soon as you'd asked me about that, I go to the local resale shops and I see some Burn Up. Unfortunately, I only was able to find 1 copy, so this is going on my shelf, but if I do see any more of these, obviously I'm going to let you know. I did remember. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Now, this I picked up as part of the deal, the local disc replays resale shops I go to. You basically buy 5 items and you get a 6th item free, as far as DVDs, CDs, video games, all of that. And so I pretty much had 5 items picked out, but I needed a 6th. And, well, this wound up being my 6th. And what is it? It is Chance Pop Session. Now, the reason why I didn't originally pick this up is this doesn't necessarily fit my bill of older school anime. I think this anime came out in, the package was 2009, but the actual 2006. This is fairly recent, to be honest. Most of the stuff that I buy is 80s and 90s. This came out in the 2000s. And, well, what is Chance Pop Session about? Well, to read the tagline here, separated by tragedy, brought together by chance. 3 young girls, strangers to each other, share an instinctual passion and talent for music. Brought together from distinctly different worlds, they meet by chance at the concert of their idol. The concert strikes a chord in each of their hearts and unites them in a common dream of stardom. And I guess basically they get together and they start making pop songs and whatnot, the 3 of them. And there's a bunch of interesting stuff. This is the complete collection, so this has all 13 episodes of the series on it. And to be honest, I've heard about this show, but I've not actually ever watched it. To be honest, I've seen Berserk, I've seen Patlabor, I've seen Burn Up, but I've not seen Chance Pop Session. I just know about it, and knowing about it, I see it on the shelf. I'm like, oh, hey, cool, this is awesome, and well, I guess I'll pick it up. So I did. And now I own it, and this goes on my shelf and my giant list of anime to sit down and watch. Eventually, one of these days, I'll get to all of it, hopefully. Anyway, let's move on to the next item, and, well, pretty much the last purchase of my romp at the resale shop. And what is that? It is Brain Powered. What is Brain Powered, you might ask? Well, I've never seen Brain Powered, but I've seen it advertised a lot back in the day on a lot of the old VHS tapes and whatnot and DVDs that I used to buy. It was often advertised in any of the Bandai shows that I watched because, well, they wanted to get this out there and have you watch it. Well, the big thing that they always advertise is that this had Yoko Kanno do the music for Brain Powered. So that's instantly a reason for me to want to actually own it, is because, well, I love Yoko Kanno. Yoko Kanno did the music for Macross Plus, which is really awesome music. Cowboy Bebop, Escaflowne. A lot of really good older anime that has awesome soundtracks, all done by Yoko Kanno. So, hearing that Brain Powered Yoko Kanno did the music for, I'm like, yes, awesome, I want it. Now, this isn't all of it. There's actually a 3rd volume, but one of the cool things about these is that each of these volumes has 9 discs. Each one's a 9 episodes, and each one is a 2-disc set. So you get 9 episodes per these, so I'm assuming it's probably split up as 5 episodes on one disc and 4 episodes on the next disc, I'm assuming. It's a show that was produced, sent out by Bandai. Unfortunately, Bandai doesn't actually release stuff in the States anymore, but so you're gonna have to, search fairly hard to find these. In fact, this is the first time I've ever seen Brain Powered out in the wild in many, many years. So it was really cool to find these. I wish I could have gotten Volume 3. Unfortunately, it's only Volume 1 and 2. And it's a sunrise show. So what does all that mean? Well, it's a giant robot show, basically, giant mechs. Kind of the idea is apparently, I guess, something is draining the energy out of the Earth. The Earth is dying. And so there's a group who is trying to basically move everyone off of Earth and go somewhere else. And then there's another group who's like, no, we don't want to have you guys take us all away from the Earth. We want to stay on the Earth. So we're going to fight in giant robot battles using giant robots. And that's kind of the way it goes. So, got Volume 1, Birth, and Volume 2, Family Feuds. Really cool to finally get this. Definitely have this now on my radar to find Volume 3 so I can complete the collection. Okay, so let's move on to my purchases from Rightstuff. So, first up, is, well, is kind of the plus, the bonus of a slightly unfortunate story. And what is that? Well, this is Volume 1 of Nuku Nuku TV, or the All-Purpose Cultural Catgirl Nuku Nuku TV. Volume 1, Keep the Peace on Earth. There's no need to fear. Nuku Nuku is here. Curiosity won't kill this cat. The really, the reason why I say this is kind of a piece of an unfortunate accident is that I didn't order this. This was not something I ordered, but it came instead. And what I had ordered is actually Nuku Nuku Dash, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a second. But I had ordered that, and what I got was Volume 2 of Nuku Nuku Dash, and instead of Volume 1 of Nuku Nuku Dash, I got Volume 1 of Nuku Nuku TV. So I'm like, wow, this is weird. This is the first time I've ever gotten the wrong product. And I've been ordering from Rightstuff for years. This is the first time there's ever been a mishap. And okay, I can kind of understand it. The actual number on here is very similar. It's a Volume 1. They use the same item code, DNN. ADV uses that same one for the stuff. Nuku Nuku Dash is DNN 1, 2, and 3, and then TV starts at 4. So this is DNN 004. And so I highly understand that there might have been an issue and whatnot. So I called the Rightstuff up and talked to their returns department and told them, the issue. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We're going to get you the right item out, and then we're going to send you the information to return the disc that we gave you. And then I got an email about an hour later saying, you know what? Keep the disc we sent you, and we're going to get the new disc out to you right away. And they did. It took another 3 days or so for me to get the replacement disc. But I did. I got the replacement disc. I got the actual disc I ordered, and everything's all nice and cool. I now just have a copy of Nuku Nuku TV Volume 1 that I wasn't originally expecting, so now I've got to start collecting Nuku Nuku TV 1, Nuku Nuku TV, so that's the unfortunate part is now I've got another broken series I need to go find more of. But anyway, it's really cool. Nuku Nuku is an old show that a lot of people really enjoy, and I've been wanting to get into it, so I've now got some of it to get into it. In fact, I think I've purchased a Nuku Nuku somewhere in here. It's around. I know I have it. I've purchased a collection, I guess, of Nuku Nuku. But I need to see whether or not that collection is the TV or if it's something else. Either way, though, really, really awesome. And as I was talking about, the next thing that I picked up was Nuku Nuku Dash. So I've got Volumes 1 and Volume 2. And, one of the things that, to me is just kind of interesting is, like, there's definitely a big difference between Volume 1 of Nuku Nuku TV and Volume 1 of Nuku Nuku Dash. There's a very big difference between Nuku Nuku and Dash and Nuku Nuku and TV. She's got an entirely different character design. But she's kind of cooler, I guess, in this version. Anyway, what is Nuku Nuku Dash? Well, it's all-purpose cultural catgirl Nuku Nuku Dash. And you got Mode 1, Mode 2, and then there's Mode 3. And pretty much, tagline, get ready for feline fever. No time for catnapping. Nuku Nuku's on the prowl. Get in touch with your inner cat. It's the all-new, all-different Nuku Nuku Dash. So kind of what's going on here is, I don't actually know much of the storyline to Nuku Nuku Dash. I've seen Nuku Nuku TV. And whatnot, but I've not seen Nuku Nuku Dash, but I've known about it, and it's been one of those that I've also been wanting to really sit down and get into and never originally had a chance. So I now have Volumes 1 and 2. I now need to get Volume 3, so I'll be done with this whole entire OVA series. This is one of the unfortunate things with this Rightstuff sale is they didn't have everything, so I couldn't pick up all of it. But at the same time, I'm able to get new DVDs. These are shrink-wrapped, everything brand new. So I'm not necessarily having to buy used. I just now need to go out and get volume 3 and sit down and watch all of that. So, anyway. Okay. This is the last of the anime that I picked up from the Rightstuff sale, and you're thinking, what? Did they sell other things other than anime for Rightstuff? And yeah, they do. They actually sell live-action Japanese things and whatnot, and I'm going to get into what I picked up here, which is really awesome. But what I've got here is Volumes 2 and Volumes 3 of The Legend of Black Heaven. Now, what's really awesome about all this is because of this sale, when these came out originally on disc, I wanted to buy them so bad. It was really awesome. I mean, what's the storyline of Black Heaven? Saving the universe through rock and roll music. Like, literally, playing a rock and roll song powers this giant laser beam to destroy the enemy that's trying to destroy the universe and whatnot. So, powering giant space lasers through rock and roll. How hardcore and awesome is that? I mean, the main tagline of this is "Hard Rock Saves Space," and this is a really cool show. It's basically about a guy who used to be in a band long ago, and he settled down, got married to one of his groupies, and had a kid. And he's all about the family, man. He's a family man. He loves his wife. He loves his child. He's doing the best for them. And he's working a deadbeat Japanese job. And he's sitting there and he's reminiscing. He is all about his family and whatnot, but the whole entire time he's like, I used to be this cool hard rocker. I used to do this. I used to do this. And life is so boring and mundane now. And then all of a sudden this alien shows up and she's like, hey, you could save the universe through your rock and roll. Let's have at it. And it's kind of what happens. And then all of the weird things that happen because of this and this weird dynamic relationship. Because, I mean, your wife is pretty hot in and of herself, but she's now a a mother, and she's a homemaker and whatnot. So she doesn't dress as like she used to, and she's more adult and grown up. And then you get this lovely little alien chick who shows up in tight spandex, and she's got a nice rack, and she's blonde, and all of these things, and jealousy, and it's just awesome little hijinks and whatnot, and then hard rock saving the universe. So this is a really, really cool show. Unfortunately, like I said, this is only volumes 2 and 3. I don't have volume 1, and I don't have volume 4. So I'm on the lookout now for volumes 1 and volume 4 of Black Heaven. And now that I think about it, I think I might have seen volume 1 at Disc Replay. Hopefully it is still there. I'm heading back there tomorrow. But hopefully it'll still be there, and I'll pick that up, and that will be awesome. And then I'll have volumes 1, 2, and 3. Then I just have to find volume 4, because volume 4 is the ending. One of the cool things, the way the show goes is it's basically a 12-episode show. So it kind of starts off. Actually, no, it's 13. It's 13 episodes. So you got 4 episodes on the first disc, 3 episodes on the second, 3 episodes on the third, and 3 episodes on the fourth disc. And this is just a really cool show. So if you ever get a chance, you see this out in the wild, you see this out in the open, I highly suggest you pick this up, because this is an awesome show. And one of these days I should actually do a full review and tell you more about it. But in the meantime, just take my word for it. It's really awesome, really cool. You guys will love it, I'm sure. I love it. So hopefully you guys will love it. Alright, so that's all for the anime, but I have 2 more DVDs here that I picked up from the Rightstuff sale. And to be honest, I didn't even realize that these had come out on DVD. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Zerum and Zerum 2. And you might be thinking, what's Zerum? What's Zerum 2? What is this? Well, this is the live action movie, Japanese film, that turned into Ikea Zerum the animation. And what am I talking about? Well, let me grab Ikea here. I've got her. Let's see. I know she's around here Yes. Ikea, Zerum the Animation. This is a really cool show about a chick, Ikea. Same person. Just this is the anime version of her, and then you see Zerum in the background, and you can kind of see him in the background of the picture here too. He's back here. And basically what this is about a bounty hunter girl who basically is trying to protect and capture this monster who is immortal and known as Zerum. And that's basically what she's out to do. She's beautiful, she destroys evil, she's a huntress. And pretty much what happens is that she, in this show, she tracks Zerum to Earth and proceeds to try and capture him and whatnot. And then she meets up with this Earth guy who later becomes a character in this, and it's all kind of weird and different. But I learned about Ikea, I learned about Zerum from this. I was like, it's called the anime is called Ikea, Zerum the Animation, because Zerum was the original. And so it's Zerum the Animation, but it's called Ikea Zerum the Animation because this is a lot more about Ikea and her backstory and things, where this is pretty much just her fighting Zerum. But either way, though, this is a really cool, really awesome older show that used to air on Sci-Fi. In fact, that's where I first saw Ikea, was on Sci-Fi during one of their anime weeks. I think it was day 1, 2, no, it was day 2, 3, and 4, because it's a 6-episode OVA, and so there's 2 episodes per day. And so yeah, it was day 2, 3, and 4, and then day 1 was Armitage the Third, and the last day was Green Legend Ron, I believe. A lot of very interesting shows to kind of start and wet my whistle when I was getting into anime back in the day. But yeah, I've seen both of these before. In fact, my anime club at the University of Kentucky actually had copies of these in their VHS library that we could check out. And so I picked it up because I was like, wow, cool. It's the original Japanese movies, live action movies that spawned this anime that I love so much. And now I own both Volume 1 and Volume 2. The first one is pretty much her fighting Zerum. The second one, Zerum comes back for some reason. I don't remember the full plot as to why number 2 even happened, but yeah, it's pretty much this immortal beast, and she's trying to hunt and take it down and whatnot. And either way, though, it's definitely interesting. This show, and I now own it on DVD. I didn't even know it was out on DVD, and then I'm like, wow, it's out, and it's in the bargain bin, and yank, it's mine, going on my shelf. It's gonna be awesome. What can I say? I love all of this. So yeah, I mean, this is everything that I picked up, and definitely cool to pick up quite a few more things and throw them onto my massive collection of bookshelves. And eventually, yes, like as I've been saying, is this thing's going to go away. This is really annoying, and it's one of the things with getting the new shelves and whatnot will definitely help out with a lot of this stuff. But either way, though, I've picked up a whole lot of stuff, and I've rambled on long enough. This is all my cool pickups. I definitely got more videos coming out to you guys. It's going to be awesome. I'm trying to stick to a schedule of at least 1 video a week, if not more, and try and get you guys some more content. I love and enjoy each and every single one of my viewers. You guys are awesome. You guys are cool. Either way, though, guys, this is it. This is what I picked up recently, and of course, hopefully I'll be picking up more in the next couple of weeks. I'm making a trip down to visit my parents, so I'll get to check out the resale shops down there a bit more. And anyway, though, guys, this is Nate, signing off. Hey guys, thanks for sticking with me to the very end. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It helps me out and also notifies you when I release new videos. And if you want to see more content, why not check out one of the videos I've got linked right here. And it would also be really sweet if you consider helping my channel grow by supporting me on Patreon. I mean, how can you say no to that dancing fool on the screen there? Dancing, dancing fairy princess.